So today I'm going to talk to you about how to make non-mirrored combination units. This is a technique that this technique I'm going to be using today was developed by Deb Tucker in the Studio 180 design. Um, this technique is fairly easy, and you do not have the bias at anywhere, and it's easily to trim down. And you don't have wonky edges and different things like that. So let me jump to another screen here and show you what non-mirrored non-mirrored units look like. This is my block that I've used in my latest block for my groupies page, and I'll be posting a link for that in the description here for you. This is a block that you can get free. If you prefer to have the written instructions, I do have a $5 charge, and the links are all in my groupies page. That's the only place you can find those blocks at this point. So this is called Patch Spinner, and I designed this with the 4-patch and the squared square tool and the diamond, the non-combination units. Now the non-combination units is what we're going to be talking about today. So you can notice that all of these units are all going the same way. Now if you make a normal combination unit, you're going to find that the units are mirrored. So that's why we're going to be going over this technique, because it's a little bit different from making a combination unit, but it's very similar. Combination units are very popular shape. You can find them in quilts, but sometimes you do need to have a mirrored, non-mirrored unit. So this is going to be a way to show you what you need to do. Like I said, this is a technique sheet by Deb Tucker, Studio 180 Design. And you can purchase this on my website, or you can go to the Studio 180 Design website itself. So, and these can be easily made with the Tucker trimmer 1, 2, and 3. And all you need is your nice pencil. I'm losing my pencil here. And your magic quilter's magic wand. You'll need your instruction sheet for your Tucker trimmer. Now if you can't find this instruction sheet, you can find this on their website right underneath the tools also. So and you're going to need your Tucker trimmer tool also. Now I've set up a sewing machine now that I've redid some of my stuff in my studio. Excuse me. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to discuss, and I'll show you how these are stitched out also, because there's a little trick to this. Okay, if you have any questions about this or comments, or you can just say hi in the description to let me know that you can hear me. That would be great. I'm going to mute myself before something happens here. I realized I haven't muted myself. And I hope you can hear me. It looks like my mic is working pretty good. So let's continue. So this, like I said, this is the pedal, the patch spinner block, and we'll be discussing the 4-patch of this unit next week. So what you need to do is and I'm going to probably flip these around, and I'm hoping these are going to go the right way for you. You're going to figure out your color placement first. And let me show you with this unit here, and I think I have this backwards. Oh, maybe not. Here we go. And let me know if this is backwards or anything, please let me know. This unit for the color placement, we're going to take fabric number 1 is going to be our main triangle, the largest triangle of this unit. Fabric 2 is going to be on our right side, and fabric 3 would be on our left, would be the opposite side of that. So what you're going to do is you're going to play, and when you cut out your triangles, you're going to make sure you know what fabric goes where. That is something. Thank you, Betty. That is something that you will need to know when you go to place your fabric and when you do this unit. So this is very key when you don't have a pattern in front of you and you don't know where to place your fabrics and things like that. So if you're tuckerizing a pattern or such, you want to know from your where your fabrics are going to be. Now, they do have a diagram on the technique sheet that shows you your fabrics 1, 2, and 3, where they should be placed and what should be done from there. It's a great tool to have right next to you. I always keep them right next to me and help me out to remember what I'm supposed to be doing. So I've laid all my fabrics out. The next key thing is the cutting. So we're going to cut these at a 4-inch for a 4-inch unit, finished unit. So when you go to your cutting chart on this, I don't know if you can see this very well, but you're going to look for your size, your cutting charts and your tucker trimmer instructions, sorry. And you're going to look for a finished size of 4-inch, which will be a pre-cut size of 4.5. And as you follow this down, you'll find the line for the 5.5, which is for the combination units. So that's where you would look for what you need to cut for that unit. So we would need to cut 5 5.5 inch squares. These 5.5 squares are going to be a fabric 1, 2, and 3. Now, for those cutting, you're going to need to remember for fabric 1, you're going to need to cut 2 of these fabrics. One of the 2 and the 3. These 2 are going to be for our smaller triangles. So let me show you how that's going to go all together. Move this out of the way. So we have our fabrics 2 and 3. What you're going to do is you're going to place your 2 on top of your 1. You kind of want to match up all your raw edges and make sure that you have them all together. Maybe take it to the iron when you should get everything done. Just kind of lay them together. Just do a slight press. Don't iron it. Just press it. to hold it together, or just pin it. That is another option too. Then you're going to take your magic wand, which is a good 1/2 inch across, and it has a line that goes down the center to help you with that center diagonal to line that up. You're going to draw 4 diagonal lines. They're each going to be on the opposite sides of that center point, and those 4 lines are going to be our stitching lines. So when we go to stitch this, we're going to stitch it so we do a kind of a zigzag when we get to that point. So we have our lines that are 1/4 inch from each side. When we take this to the sewing machine, and I'm going to be doing this shortly for you to show you how I do this, is you're going to start on your right side and you're going to stitch down to halfway in between these 2 points in this on the square. Go across to the other side and back down. Again, you're going to start on the right side, go down halfway, stitch across to the other line, and go back down. Once you have that done, you're going to take that off your machine. You're going to then, on the right side again, once we flip that around, you're going to then stitch from the right side halfway down, across, and down. So let me switch to my machine and let me show you how we're going to do this, how this works. Oops, I just moved the camera. I ran over the camera. Hang on. There we go. So it's a little wonky, but it works. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on the right side. And I'm going to put my presser foot down, take a few stitches here, and we're going to start stitching down. Now I have all my fabrics together, and we're going to go down to halfway. Now I know where the halfway point is on my my presser. My foot here is right at the tip of this indent piece here, and we're going to go ahead and stitch, and then I'm going to pull my feet up. I'm going to rotate it so it faces me, and I'm going to stitch to the other side. And then I'm going to rotate that again and go down. Okay, so that is one side. So on the other side, we're going to do the same thing. We've already stitched from this way across, so we're going to stitch from this way down. We're going to start again on our right side. You're doing a Z kind of a stitch. We're going to be alternating between the two sides. Down on the right side. Down to the halfway point, rotate it towards us, and across, down on the left side. And that's all you have to do for the stitching. It's really easy. You just got to remember to go across and to the side. So next, once you have that stitched, you're going to come back And let me move myself up again. And we're going to cut these apart. You're going to take your a ruler, which I didn't bring that ruler across, and you're going to go halfway across down. You're going to cut in the middle here, and you're going to cut them across here. So your stitches are going to look like this when you get it done. So you're going to have 4 triangles. Once you get those triangles, you're going to be able to press those open. Now you can press them open to either side. It depends on what you want to do, and it also depends on your pattern. So make sure if you're reading a pattern, refer back to them. And if you, or you can press it open. It depends on what you want to do. Once you get these pressed open, the next step is to grab your 2 fabric ones. I'm sorry, my dogs are barking. The ringer keeps going off today. I don't know why. So once you grab that, you're going to cut this in half diagonally. You're going to end up with 2 large triangles. You're going to take one of these smaller triangles and you're going to line that up on your larger triangle, and you're going to center it as much as you can. It's going to be the larger one's going to be oversized, so that's great. And you're going to go ahead and stitch across this line also. So let's go ahead and do that also. And I'm switching to my machine again. And like I said, I have got my triangle on here. I'm trying to center as much as possible. And I'm going to make sure we line up all the way down across here, down the edge of this stitch. And we're going to sew across. Now you may want to take a stylus, a seam ripper, something to hold your seam down as you sew across it. You want to make sure that those 2 triangles are on the top of that larger unit when you sew it, so you can see what you're sewing at. And you're just going to continue across. I'm trying to keep my hands out as much as possible out of your way. And we have sewn our unit. You're going to make as many as you need to. Usually you're going to make 4. Then you're going to press them open. So just like here, you're going to have them pressed open, and you can see they're non-mirrored. They would be facing each other if they were mirrored. So then it's time to trim down. So once you get those ready for trimming, all you have to do is grab your tucker trimmer. And we're going to remember we're making 4-inch, which means we need a 4.5-inch cut size. Now right-handed, we're going to line up our unit so that we have the point going to our right here. And we're going to find the 4.5-inch dashed line crossed here, and our common diagonal is going to go down the seam here. So it's going to take you a few minutes to get it lined up, or a few seconds, I should say. And you're going to then cut up and across. Now, left-handed, I'm going to do it left-handed. we are going to make sure that we have our unit going to the right, or to the left, sorry, and we're going to line up that common diagonal going down the seam line and to across that seam right there, our large triangle seam. And you're going to line that up, and you're going to make your first cut up and across, up and across. So that's your first cut. Once you get that first cut, you're going to then line up that 4.5 inch line here on this square here, because this is where your trim lines are going to go, and you're going to line up that common diagonal down your seam line, and that 4.5 across that seam right there. I need both hands to do this because this mat moves so fast. It really moves things around. And for right-handed, you're just going to go up and across, making sure before you even cut that you have all of this all lined up. Okay, so for left-handed, it's the same way, except we have the triangle going to the left. You're just lining it all up, making sure that your dashed line 4.5 is here. We have a 4.5 triangle that sits in this area here. And we're going to cut up and across. And that's how you make your the non-traditional, the non-combination, non-mirrored combination units. I love making these units. They go fast, easy, and you will always have a perfect unit when you're finished. It won't have a wonky looking unit. You'll have a precise unit with the straight of the grain. Oh, Betty, you taught this today. Wow, good. Great. That's really great. That's it for today. And so, like I said, next week I'll be going over how to make 4-patch units that are in this unit also. So you'll be using the 4-patch square up tool from the Studio 180 Design. I really fell in love with this tool. I just made this with a quilt. I just used it and it was great. Fast, easy units that weren't wonky and undersized. So it was really nice. So I really hope you enjoyed today. And let's go back up here. And I want to thank you for joining me. Again, I'm going to put a link in the description for my groupies page so you can have access to the blocks. I come up with these blocks every month. So I am really excited about these blocks and how popular they're getting. You can do anything with what you want. Now in the pattern, I give you some ideas. Like if I made this last time, I made an 18-inch and I added some borders to it for a pillow. So you can do anything with these. I also give you ideas for like a table runner or a tabletop or a wall hanging. So it gives you ideas what you can do with these blocks. So that is it. I hope you, like I said, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next week, the same time, same place, right here on Quilting Affection Designs at 4 p.m. This is called Quilting with Tina, and I really appreciate you showing up and watching. Thank you and goodbye.